Alright, so what's up, everybody? So I want to tell you all what happened to me last Friday. So, about 2 weeks ago, I found out that two individuals from Wild 'N Out were coming to our area to host a show. Basically, all the colleges in our area got together and they funded these two individuals to come do a comedy set, and then afterwards they would do like some Wild 'N Out games with the people in the audience. And at first I was like super stoked because I'm like, oh, I like these two individuals. One of them is like very well known on YouTube for some of his songs and stuff. The other one, he's well known for his jokes and stuff on Wild 'N Out. And I'm like, it'll be cool to see these people. Well, with school and working all this other stuff, I was like, well, maybe I just want to get out of town for the weekend. That's like a free weekend for me, just to like do something else. And so I had decided not to go. I'm like, it's a great opportunity. It would be free for me, but I was like, I just don't want to go. I want to do something else. Well, fast forward to last Wednesday or Thursday. So the person who was facilitating and being the liaison for our school to another, to like everybody else, it was like a little coalition that was like coming together to do all this. She notified me that she would not be able to go, and she asked me, was I going, because we talked about it earlier when she first told me about it. I told her I was interested, but I never told her that I was going to get a ticket. And so last week she asked me, was I still going? And I told her that I wasn't planning on going, but I asked her, did she need something? Because like usually, even though we talk about stuff, you can kind of tell when somebody wants something from you. And I was like, nah, I don't think I'm going. I said, but do you need something? What's up? So she was like, well, I can't go, and nobody else from our school can go except for one other person, and we need at least 2 staff members. And I'm like, okay, this is very interesting. And then she was like, yeah, she said, so can you go? Because I can't go because I already made plans like months ago, this and the third. And if we could just stop right here for a moment, because I'm like, first off, like, you knew from the jump that you weren't going to be here if you made plans months ago for you not to be able to go to this event. And I feel like if you had a knew this like from the jump, then you probably should have better communicated this with other people so that you could have not only just relied on me. Because what if I just wanted to go just enjoy the show and not work, like the whole show? What if I just wanted to go be a part of the audience and just, do like giggles and stuff with everybody else? Well, like I said, it was, in my opinion, it was poor communication on her behalf. And I also feel like if she had knew this in time and had to like communicate this in time, somebody else from the college could have went. Anyway, so fast forward. So I told her, yeah, I could go, and I would fill in for her or whatever. And I just told her just to tell me what I need to do. So as I told her this, it didn't like register with me at the time that I had to already be out of town earlier that day. Like I was going like an hour and a half to like a conference or whatever, and then I had to come back that night. And so like the person who was like actually like over like cheering the whole event or whatever, they sent out like notifications the night before. So this Thursday night now, they sent out stuff like the night before talking about download this app on your these 2 apps on your iPhone. Make sure you do this before you get there. We need everybody to be there about like 6:30, whatever. Now, if we can pause right here again. So Wednesday, I find out that I have to be at this event because I'm asked to be asked to fill in. Thursday, you got people emailing you, and she emailed me after like 5 o'clock. And my rule of thumb is I don't answer no emails or nothing after 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, like that's it. That's my cutoff time. Like 5 o'clock and until I come back the next day, that's my personal time. I don't do nothing concerning work or anything else. Like if it's like urgent, you need to try to get in contact with the emergency person for the school or for the college or whatever the case may or may not be. But at 5 o'clock, I cut that off because I feel like it's time for me to go home and do some self-care for myself. Anyway, so I just happened to look at my email because I was like, oh, I need to get the address for where I'm going the next day. And as I'm looking at this, I see that the lady who is chairing the event, not the lady who worked here, but the lady who is chairing the event for all the colleges or whatever, she done sent this email out talking about we need to download these 2 apps. Well, the issue that I have with downloading 2 apps is, first off, data. Okay, so you're not paying for my data, so it's like, are you gonna give me an internet code when I get the? And second off, what if I ain't got space on my phone? And that's another thing. Like, I have issues with people wanting you to do work on your phone. I feel like you should have systems in place where people don't have to use their personal devices to work, because I feel like I tell people, I had this phone number and I had this phone before I got here, and 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna have it once I leave here. And this is nothing personal to the people who, want you to do all this stuff. But I feel like with work, if you want me to do work on my phone, you need to give me a work stipend for data. You need to give me a work stipend so I can increase the gigabytes and the iCloud storage on my phone. And we need to go that route. Because if you want me to use my phone for work, then you need to have some things in place for me to be able to use my phone for personal and professional purposes. So moving on from that, I was like, I'm not downloading neither app, because first off, I don't think I got the storage, and second off, I don't want, like with your smartphones and stuff, sometimes, when you re-download the app for something else, like let's say I want to re-download the app for like my personal use, sometimes the apps and stuff, they still like remember like a person's data and stuff, and I don't want to like go back and forth with this person, like you trying to invade my privacy. I'm like, I'm not that type of person. I could care less. And so to stop all that, I was like, I'm not downloading that. So anyway, so I get back from the conference, go pick up my dog from the daycare, and because like I didn't want to leave him in my house or whatever while I was like an hour and a half away, because I'm like, it can catch on fire, da 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 da, and I'm not like in a spot where I'm able to get back to him like fast. So let me go ahead, put him in like a play care, little situation for a day. And when I come back, I'll pick him up, and then I'll take him home, and then I'll get dressed, and I'll go over to the Wild and Out event. So as I'm getting dressed to go over there to the event and stuff like that, I'm noticing that people texting me, they're talking about, hey, we need you to pick this up before you come over here to meet, because it was hosted on another campus. And it's like, I need you to pick this up, I need you to pick that up. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm looking at them like, wait, I said, I just want you to know, like, I just got back. I know we got to be there at 6:30, but I just got back. It's like 40 something at this time. I'm like, I'm going to be late, and I need to go ahead. I need to, like, put some clothes on, some nice clothes on, because, as African Americans, regardless how people feel, we have to look nice when we go to certain things, especially when we know it's going to be people who gonna be on TV and stuff like that, because you don't want to be the butt of somebody joking. You don't want to be that person who looking real basic but everybody else looking nice. So of course, I took time to put on some makeup, and I put some nice clothes on. Well, by the time I did all that, and I did the little run around on campus that they asked me to do before heading over, I was like, okay, so by the time I look, it's like 6:40 something, and I'm heading over, and I get to about 6:50, and by the time I get there, the line is like all the way out the door, and I'm gonna get to the point in a minute. And so it's all the way out the door, right? And so as I'm doing all, like noticing all this or whatever, I'm like, man, it's a lot of us here. I see they got, security. I'm like, I hope we don't all show out. Well, we get to this, so they open up doors and stuff. Well, go back. Let me go back. So they open up. They tell me like what my duties and stuff are before they open up the doors. And I tell them, well, I'm just taking tickets because I haven't downloaded the apps, and I'm not downloading the apps. So as I'm sitting there taking the tickets and stuff like that, the mad rush come in, everybody cooperating, and on the tickets, all of them, whether it was like the online tickets or the paper tickets, it told everybody you had to have an ID to get in. Well, and it's specifically like a college ID to get in, if you want to get in for free, and if you were like just a general admission person, like if you didn't go to college or whatever, you had to pay like a certain amount, and then you had to have your ID. Well, all the college students, they came in, other people from the community who came in, they had like they licenses and stuff, and everything was cool. I'm like, okay, this is great. I'm like, because I know we can show out sometimes. We can get sassy with people if we don't have what we need because we don't follow directions and read, or we don't try to take the extra time to comprehend sometimes. So I'm sitting there like, okay, cool. These two older women who look like they in their 40s, 30s, late 30s, 40s or whatever, they walk in, And I'm like, I see one on with a purse, I see one on without a purse. I look at her and I'm like, it don't look like she got no kind of ID. I'm like, here we go. So, I greet them as they coming in. I'm like, hey, how are you all? Da 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 da. Can you give me your ticket? And while you giving me your ticket, do you have your ID as well? And then one woman, she was pulling out her her wallet and stuff to show me her ID. The other one told me, I don't have my ID. I said, well, do you have it like in a parking lot? Can you go back and get it from your car or whatever the case may be? I said, but you have to have an ID to get in. And she's like, are you serious? And why do I need an ID to get in? So she's just like going off. And I'm like, okay, man, well, we gonna need your ID to get in. And her friend kind of give her that look like, girl, let's go back and let's get the ID so we can, get a seat or whatever before the show starts. Let's not be difficult. So they leave out and they go back to the car and get the ID. During this time, we have some more people come in, whatever, and everything is running smooth. Next thing I know, it's this lady. So it's just like this lady and this man, and I think their son. They come in, and I greet them and I tell them the same thing. Please have your ID and your ticket ready as you approach, the little gating area so we can let you in. And the lady who I first told that she had to go back to her car to get her ID and stuff, they walking in as this lady is like getting ready to show out. And you could tell she getting ready to show out because she do this little thing where she look at the person who she with real like sassy, then she look back at me, and then she talking about, are you serious? I'm like, I ain't got no ID. And I'm like, and then this is what I'm thinking to myself. I'm like, you got a purse, but you ain't got no ID. It makes a lot of sense to have a purse. So what's in your purse? Snacks? What's in your purse? You just got this purse for fashion? Like, you need to have something in your purse besides, just having it, like, draped across you. I'm like, I ain't got no ID. And then talking about, I'm 46 years old. I don't need no ID to get in here. And I was like, ma'am, I said, you will need your ID to get in. If you do not have your ID, we cannot let you in. ID? Talking about, I'm going home. And as she acting a fool, to be quite honest, as she acting a fool, the other two ladies who had to go back to the car to get one of their IDs came back and they're talking about, girl, I know that's right. And then she getting checked in or whatever, but the other lady and they going in or whatever because both of them got their IDs and it's all good at this point in time. But the other lady, she's still out there in the lobby area near the gates, like still acting a fool. Talking about, I'm going home. And you can tell her husband was just like over the whole situation because he just wanted to show his ID because he had pulled out his wallet and he was pulling his ID out. And the son that, or the other person that was with them, who I assume was their son, he was pulling his stuff out too, so that they could go in. But she's like, I'm ready to go home. I'm going home. And I said, okay. I said, well, have a good night. And I believe they left. I'm not sure if they went back to the car or whatever, because more people came in. And I'm like, they might have went to the other side, but I just thought it was freaking ridiculous. And, I tell the story to say two things. Probably some more, but two things for sure. When you have made up your mind not to do something, don't do it. Don't sit there and let somebody else sob story or, oh, I need you to do this or I need you to do that because I done make plans. If you know that you done plan to do something, don't let somebody else story, sob story persuade you from doing it, because it's a reason that I wasn't supposed to be there. And probably because of the whole fact of how them people was acting, because I felt like this. I wasn't getting paid for that. I was legit doing it out of the goodness of my heart. And considering that, because that lady who asked me to do it, she is a good co-worker or whatever. Anytime I ask her to do something, she'll do it. So that's the only reason I feel that for her, because she is pretty cool. If she wasn't cool, I probably would have just been like, nah, I can't do it for you. But because she cool, I was helping her. And, based off this situation, I don't think I would help out in this capacity again for checking tickets and stuff, because that's just not my calling on my life. That's not something that I'm equipped to do, because I just don't like the whole attitude thing. I feel like if the ticket say you need to have a ticket and an ID to get in, then that's what you need to have. Don't sit here and try to go back and forth with me because something on the ticket says you need to have an ID and a ticket. And I mean, to me, it's just like precautions for security purposes. I understood that. I know if she's 60, she 46 year old. She understood that whole thing too. So it's like you want to act crazy for no reason. And second off, as black people, we got to do better. I mean, like, I'm not saying it in a judgmental way because I'm pretty sure it's stuff that I can improve on too. But one thing that I like to do is like when people tell me something, like I like to listen because I feel like I don't want to be that difficult one. I don't want to be that one that put other people's lives in jeopardy. I don't want to be that one who put people in a like compromising situation because I'm not the one that's like following directions and listening. And sometimes it is going to be situations where it's like, yeah, you're being treated unfairly and unjustly, but it's just like for the greater good at the moment for you to get that situation, like you just have to listen. And I feel like for her in that situation, and sometimes like, and I just want to throw this out there before I go to this point. Sometimes even if you listen, like things don't go as you like, as they should for other circumstances and stuff. So I do recognize that, and I'm not oblivious to that at all. However, I think that with that situation, she amplified it to a point to where it just got nasty on her behalf, and she looked real crazy because I wasn't gonna sit there and argue with her because I'm like, I'm a volunteer, I'm not getting paid for this, and security is right there. So you got the odds stacked against you, already. So either you gonna show me your ID and your ticket, or you just gonna sit here and continue to argue with yourself because I'm not gonna argue with you. Like, I'm just not. And so we need to listen, we need to pay attention, and we need to just like act accordingly. Like, and just realize that sometimes it's not everybody else. We like to sit there and talk about, oh, it's this person, it's that person, it's this system, it's that system. Like, sometimes it is those systems, and then sometimes it is those people, but sometimes it's us. And I'm going to be real honest with you. Sometimes it is us. And sometimes with it being us, we have to just sit back, chill, and reflect. But how could I have made this situation differently? Because I felt like in that moment, it was like one sister to another sister. And it's like, okay, I'm asking you to do something. If you ain't got it, then be like, well, can we work something out? Like, can I show you my, I don't know, a credit card, debit card? Can I show you something else? Like, is there anything else that you can show me that I can show you so I can get in? And I would have worked with her, but because she wanted to like act a fool and start all this huffing and puffing, and I'm going home and I'm 46 years old and this and the third, then bye. Because my thing is this: if you 46 years old and you come into a college event where they have brought 2 members from Wild 'N Out to do their little set and do some Wild 'N Out games, if that's all you got to do on a Friday night is hang out with college students, and you can't afford to go to a real Wild 'N Out event or a real event that's for a 46-year-old, because in my point of view, Wild 'N Out is not for no 46-year-old person, nobody in their 40s. I feel like Wild 'N Out is for people in their 20s and early 30s because we kind of grew up with the whole Nick Cannon type of thing. But I feel like this: if you don't want to hang out with your peers, then you got to follow the rules. And I feel like this: like, don't sit here and try to throw your age around, because to me, in my point of view, that's kind of sad for you to be 46 years old trying to get into a college event, because these people are 20-something years younger than you. I'm 20-something years younger than her. So you sitting over here trying to tell me I'm 40-something, I'm such and such and this, I'm better. I don't care what it is. If you 46 years old, then your reading and comprehension skills should be to the point where if you don't have a college ID, that you need to bring a driver's license. You need to bring some other type of identification that can get you in. But that's all basically that I had for this video, is just to tell you all, first off, if you know that you don't want to do something and you have made up in your mind that you're not going to go, continue with that idea, because I'm telling you, sometimes it's for the best. And sometimes it's to keep you out of situations like I had to endure, because I felt like if I had been like, okay, I'm not going to this situation, I'm not going to go to this event because I just don't want to go, then I probably would have to deal with them crazy people. I probably would have to play quote-unquote security. On my Friday night, I could have been somewhere else doing something else that would have been, the show was funny, it was alright, but at the same time, it was like, if something else probably had came up, I probably would have did that because, like I said, it was just I didn't want to deal with it. And second off, I feel like as black people, we got to do better when it comes down to following directions. Like, we can't sit here and say it's everybody else when sometimes it's just us. Because we don't want to follow directions. We don't want to listen. We don't want to, follow the instructions on the paper. The paper said, or the ticket said, ID and ticket. You bring a ticket, but no ID. What kind of sense that make? Makes no sense at all. And so I feel like as an elder in the community, she might not be like, somebody in their 60s, 70s, 80s. But I feel like when you got like a little age on you, I feel like for me being in my 20s, like I can be considered an elder to somebody who in their teens or like, under 10 years old, because I have some wisdom that they don't have yet. And I feel like as somebody who is in their 40s, she has some wisdom that she could have imparted on us at that time by showing us, okay, well, when you don't have the materials that you need so you can be successful in a situation, then I'm gonna teach you some skills, some life skills of how to navigate this situation so that both of us can be successful so we can get what we want. But she wasn't trying to do that. And I felt like I wasn't trying to sit there and go above and beyond to help her because she was in the food. And if you act a fool, those are the results that you get. But anyway, like, share, subscribe, comment below.